It was supposed to be a simple summer hike. Two best friends, 17 years old, packing light for a one-day adventure in Virginia's Shenandoah National Park, a place they both knew like the backs of their hands. Emily Harper was the quiet one. Thoughtful. She loved photography, especially early morning forest light and the shimmer of waterfalls. Sarah Mitchell was louder, more fearless. Her laughter carried like a song, and when they were together they brought out the best in each other. They'd grown up neighbors in the small town of Front Royal. Childhood friends turned soul sisters. On the morning of July 12, 2019, Emily and Sarah set out just after 9 a.m. They left behind quick texts to their parents, tossed snacks, a map, and their phones into their packs, and drove up to the White Oak Canyon trailhead, one of the most scenic, but also rugged, routes in Shenandoah. They sent a few photos around noon, Emily grinning behind the camera, Sarah flashing a peace sign beside a waterfall. Their last message was time-stamped at 2:07 p.m. And then, nothing. By nightfall they hadn't returned home. Calls went unanswered. Texts remained unread. Sarah's mother called the park rangers around 9:40 p.m., worried but hopeful. Maybe they lost track of time. Maybe they were just out of signal range. By midnight, search teams were assembling. At dawn, their car was found parked neatly at the trailhead. Inside were their jackets, trail mix, and 2 unopened bottles of water. Their backpacks were missing. No sign of struggle, no indication of where they'd gone. Volunteers, dogs, helicopters, and drones combed the forest for days. They found boot prints, possibly Emily's, heading north from the trail. But the tracks abruptly stopped near a rocky streambed. From there, it was as if the earth had swallowed them whole. Rumors began almost immediately. Some said they'd run away. Others feared a bear attack. But those who knew them didn't believe either. They were smart. They were experienced. And they would have told someone if they planned something more. Still, weeks passed. Then months. Then years. And for 5 long, aching years there were no answers. Just silence. The months after their disappearance were filled with unanswered questions and painful what-ifs. Emily's and Sarah's families held vigils, searched on their own, plastered missing posters throughout Front Royal and beyond. The community grieved together, haunted by the emptiness left behind. Law enforcement scoured the park repeatedly, but the dense forest, rugged cliffs, and winding trails made the search nearly impossible. The girls seemed to have vanished into thin air. Suspicion soon fell on Jacob Rowe, a former park maintenance worker with a troubled past. He had been dismissed from his job 2 years before the disappearance following allegations of harassment and erratic behavior. Rowe was known to be reclusive, living alone in a cabin several miles from the White Oak Trail. Detectives investigated, searching his property and questioning neighbors. But Rowe had no solid alibi and no physical evidence tied him to the girls. Despite their suspicions, they lacked proof, and Rowe remained free, a shadow lurking at the edge of the investigation. Rumors swirled. A witness claimed to have heard raised voices near the trail on that fateful afternoon. Others reported seeing a figure matching Rowe's description near the trailhead days before. Yet nothing concrete emerged. Emily's father refused to believe the worst. Emily knew the park better than anyone. She wasn't reckless. She didn't just get lost. Sarah's mother clung to hope, praying for a miracle. Years passed. The case went cold. Then, 5 years later, a group of geology students doing fieldwork deep in the park stumbled across something they never expected. Near a remote streambed, off the beaten path by several miles, they found a worn hiking boot. Not far from it lay a partially decomposed backpack and fragments of bone. The discovery reignited the investigation. DNA tests confirmed the remains belonged to Sarah Mitchell. But Emily was still missing. The revelation shattered the fragile hope held by the families, but it also provided answers that had been buried in the forest shadows for half a decade. The discovery of Sarah's remains brought fresh urgency to the investigation. Authorities returned to the site with forensic teams, combing the surrounding area for more clues. They uncovered a broken camera Emily's and painstakingly retrieved its memory card. What they found inside sent chills through the entire department. Among photos of trees and streams, one picture stood out. A blurry, grainy shot of Sarah near the creek, looking over her shoulder with a tense expression. Behind her, barely visible through the trees, was a shadowy figure. It was the final piece of the puzzle. Jacob Rowe was arrested shortly after. Confronted with the evidence, he confessed, though his story was full of contradictions and half-truths. He claimed he had encountered the girls on the trail and tried to convince them to take a shortcut he knew well. According to him, things escalated when Sarah panicked, leading to an accidental fall that fatally injured her. He said Emily fled into the woods and despite his attempts he couldn't find her. Investigators didn't buy the entire story. Blood traces near the site suggested Emily's presence and the damaged camera hinted at a struggle. The trial gripped the nation. The small town of Front Royal watched as the darkest secrets came to light. Rowe was sentenced to life in prison without parole. For Emily's family, justice was bittersweet. Her remains were never found, but knowing the truth gave them a measure of peace. Sarah's mother said at the sentencing, "We will never forget them. Our girls deserve that much." The community established the Harper Mitchell Wilderness Fund, promoting safe hiking education and supporting families of missing persons. And every summer near White Oak Canyon, a vigil is held. Candles flicker, and memories linger like the whispering winds. The forest remains, vast and quiet, a place of beauty and danger intertwined. For many, Shenandoah is a sanctuary. For some, it holds memories too painful to forget. Emily and Sarah's story is a haunting reminder of trust, innocence lost, and the fragility of youth. Two best friends who vanished on a summer hike, whose lives were cut tragically short. Their names live on not just on memorial plaques or in news headlines, but in the hearts of those who loved them and the countless hikers who now walk more cautiously, more aware. Their families continue to advocate for safer trails, better communication systems, and awareness ensuring no one else suffers the same fate. And though Emily's final resting place remains a mystery, her spirit lingers in every sunrise over the canyon, every rustling leaf, every whispered breeze through the trees. This is not just a story of disappearance and tragedy. It's a call to remember, to protect, and to never stop searching for truth even when the forest falls silent. Thank you for listening. If you found this story gripping, like, comment, and subscribe to Nest of Whispers for more mysterious, haunting tales, where silence speaks louder than answers.